welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box, episode 96, Pez Empomered. Game Week 20 review. In this edition of Banter in the Box, we have got your Game Week 20 winners and losers. 4 winners who all receive 1 Manager of the Season point, and 4 losers who all lose a Manager of the Season point if they had them. We've got your FFFL Cup second round preview. It's this weekend. I'll be taking you through the runners and riders, a reminder of the draw, and giving you my predictions as to who's going to make it through to the quarterfinals. Feel free to play along at home. And then that all-important Manager of the Season update. It's a rollover. So this week it was worth 2 Manager of the Season points. So your Game Week 20 winners take a bow for the second week running. The defending champion Hatch United, Neil Hatch, climbed another place up to 17th, just on the cusp of the top half of the table. You have to go back to Game Week 10 for the last time Neil was as high as 17th in the league. Take a bow, Ryan Pez United Perring, who rose a place to 26th. Doesn't sound impressive, but you have to go back to Game Week 7 for the last time that Ryan was as high as 26th in the table, as he empomers his way up the Family Fantasy Football League table. Excellent stuff. Take a bow also, Never the Boys manager, Jack Hoxby. He climbed out of the relegation zone and up to 28th. And Jack hasn't been that high since the end of last season, 28th of May. For the first time this season, he's out of the relegation zone. It's been an empomered week for Jack as well. But the biggest Game Week 20 winner, empomered more than anyone, is the Creed Bratton Society's Jordan Williams. Climbed 3 places up to 6th this week. He was the highest climbers, scoring his first weekly win with 45 points. He's back in that title race, the Mad Hatter. Never won a league title before. He's coming good just at the right time. So, as I say, 1 Manager of the Season point to those, your Game Week 20 winners. Game Week 20 winners. Conversely, those not coming into form just at the right time, your Game Week 20 losers. Hide your head in shame. It's at least a second consecutive week, maybe a third consecutive week. No happy endings manager, Dyer Maloney, dropped a place to 20th. You have to go back to the 25th of March for the last time Dyer Maloney was that low. At least a third consecutive week, possibly a fourth. Megan Hoxley Chamberlain manager Megan Hoxby fell a place to 27th. Megan hasn't been as low as 27th since the 19th of August 2021. Hide your head in shame also, debut manager Dial Square FC's Mark Collier. Mark fell a place down to 29th into the relegation zone. This is his debut season, but he's never ever been as low as 29th in the table. Debut managers normally struggle in their first season, and Mark is certainly doing that. But the biggest Game Week 20 loser, hide your head in shame, Coldplay United manager Martin Maloney. Stayed 24th despite being the lowest scorers in Game Week 20, registering -2 points scored by Martin Maloney this week. Where they had them, 1 Manager of the Season point lost. Now this is your second round of the Family Fantasy Football League Cup. That is the draw taking place this weekend, as long as all Premier League fixtures go ahead. No reason why they won't, but it has to be a full Premier League fixture weekend. The high-flying Creed Bratton Society face off against the struggling Coldplay United. Surprise package in the second round draw. The lowest team in terms of league position still in the tournament. That's an easy to predict. The Creed Bratton Society are going through there. They're going to sweep Coldplay United to one side. Going to be the Canoe Club, 11th or 12th. No, 12th, I think, in the table, are playing league leaders Bantonio Conte's Barmy Army. Bantonio Conte's Barmy Army, Niall Ponsford, bidding to become the first manager to win the league in his debut season for over 20 years. From memory, Sashama's round about 2000 is the only person to win the league in their debut season. Antonio Conte's Barmy Army bidding to do it for the first time since then. A debut manager has never won the league and cup double. Can Antonio Conte's Barmy Army do the league and cup double? Time will tell, but I'm predicting that this isn't going to be an easy, an easy tie for Antonio Conte's Barmy Army, who will go through to the quarterfinals to set up a mouth-watering quarter-final tie against the Creed Bratton Society. Ostrich Bar Stewards against another debut manager who've done well to make the second round, Abs FC. Ostrich Bar Stewards in great form, up in 4th in the table. Abs FC 14th. This is an Ostrich Bar Stewards win. And then it's a battle of the family. Poppy's Players against father-in-law Keith Simons. This will be a little bit closer. Poppy's Players 2nd in the table. Keith Simons 15th. But I think Keith's going to pull off a shock here and make it through to set up a tie in the quarterfinals against Ostrich Bar Stewards. Surprise package on the buses. Another debut manager, Sarah Goodwin, the Banter Queen. She faces the #1 rated manager in the Family Fantasy Football League, Arden Diamonds. On the buses, not having a bad season for a debut manager, 22nd in the table, and her form is on the up, has been for several weeks. Arden Diamonds, by contrast, form is going out the window, slipping down the table slowly but surely. This week, dropping 2 places to 8th, or 2 places to 8th, I'm sure it was. I think On the Buses is going to do this. I know I didn't predict them to win any of their group stage games, but I think On the Buses is going to go through to an FFFL Cup quarter-final. Who will they play? Well, Foxborough Foxes, 3rd in the table against Benny United, who seems to be stuck in 10th. He's been 10th for so long. Foxborough Foxes, again, another team, forms on the up, steadily climbing up to 3rd in the table. But I think Benny United's experience is going to tell. Benny United, for me, will win this one fairly comfortably to set up a quarter-final tie against On the Buses. Then we've got Grease Lightning, 13th in the table, playing the Big Knobs, who are 11th. And I think it will be as close as their league positions tell us. But I think Grease Lightning is going to edge this. Sorry, bruv. And the final tie, I've Got a Life FC, just climbed into the top half of the table to 16th against Better Than the Diamonds, who are 5th. But again, recently, form is slipping for Better Than the Diamonds. But I'm sorry, Mops. I think it's going to be really, really close. But I think Better Than the Diamonds are just going to edge it to set up a quarter-final tie against Grease Lightning. They're my predictions for this weekend's FFFL Cup tie. Play along at home. We'll see how many we got right next week. Now, who the fuck is that? It rolled over, so it's worth 2 Manager of the Season points this week. That is a hand of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager. You just needed to tell me who it was. 4 managers had a go at that this week. Could have predicted these are 4 managers that would have had a go. Hatch United manager Neil Hatch thinks that that's a picture of Sash Hammers FC's Wayne Robinson. On the Buses manager Sarah Goodwin thinks that that's a picture of Gobi Desert Canoe Club's Pops Hawksby. The Big Knobs manager, Simon Hawksby, thinks that that's a picture of Legends 23 manager, Keith Simons. And the final guess come from Benny United manager Mark Benwell, who was convinced that that was a picture of the Big Knobs manager, Simon Hoxby. Is that hand small enough to be Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby? Well, I can reveal that none of those answers were correct. So with the guesses we had last week and the 4 managers we've just ruled out there, the odds of getting it right are coming down all the time. And it means the manager of the season table currently looks like this. Hatch United has climbed up to joint 12th for being a Game Week 20 winner. Megan Hoxby drops to joint 12th for being a Game Week 20 loser. Ryan Perrin up to joint 4th for being a Game Week 20 winner. All the rest of the activity was in the bottom half of the manager of the season table. So it is still the Big Knobs manager, Simon Hoxby, 11 points clear at the top of the table. But that gap can be closed this week because we're rolling it over and it's worth 3 manager of the season points. If you can tell me which current Family Fantasy Football League manager is pictured there. We know it's not Sashamas FC's Wayne Robinson. We know it's not Gobi Desert Canoe Club's Pops Hoxby. We know it's not Legends 23 Keith Simons. We know it's not the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby. And we also ruled out, and I can't remember who they were, a load of managers last week. Actually, I can reveal who they were last week. Last week we ruled out Benny United manager Mark Benwell. We ruled out me, and we also ruled out Gobi Desert Canoe Club's Pops Hoxby. But for some reason, Sarah decided to think it might still be him, but it definitely isn't. So there's 6 people that we've ruled out. And if you can tell me who it is, you'll get 3 manager of the season points. But remember, only 1 guess per manager per week. Until next week, take care everyone. Goodbye.